Oh, sorry. You're ready? I am ready. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing while we recognize those who have passed since our last meeting. Terry Wilkerson Moore. Jean Bohemus. Carol Janet Trench. Our exit, we go down this, out through this door, not through that door, and down the steps, or the other, okay? If there's a problem in the building. Correspondence, we have none? Is there any concerns?
No, we have a review.
Roll
Roll
Yes, roll call. Mike, Michelle?
Here.
Joe?
Here.
Don? Here. No,
Here.
we have a full board member, a full board tonight. And, this particular time, there's no public hearing, so what we're gonna do is we have petitioners time. If anybody that's on Zoom or in the audience at this time, if you have any concerns for the town, come up to the podium or have to come on Zoom and, you will be heard. So John Navarez, County Legislator.
Here is the chairman of the 4th of July committee tonight. So the parade, as you know, the route normally goes from the school parking lot through Yankee up Canal towards towpath, and then comes down the center, goes through 209 up by the library, comes back down on Canal, and then ends sort of at Maiden Lane. The village mayor had come to our committee meeting last week and asked us to consider changing the route so it didn't cross 209. At this late stage, it's very difficult, really almost impossible for us to do that. So the reason why he asked for that, and he also was asking about the reimbursement for the police department. We found out that it takes 25 posts that are manned to actually secure the parade route, so people are redirected around the parade route. I personally didn't have that appreciation for it. I thought it was only 12 when I counted out. It's sort of because when you're in the parade, you only see the 12 spots that there's actually people posted there. Turns out it takes 25, and the chief had laid all that out for us. So what I'm here tonight is to ask the town board is to see if you would contribute, willing to contribute the money, which is approximately 4,500 to 5,000. It all depends on the type, the number of officers that they have and who they are, because different salaries, part-timers make less than full-timers. But with their retirement benefit, it comes out to about $5,000 for the parade.
So John and I had a conversation about this a couple days ago, right? I think Tuesday, I think. And is there some help from the fire district?
Yeah, so the chief said he can make do, so he only has, there's also a manpower issue, he only has 12 officers. So he's been able to get other volunteers requested from the state police and sheriffs to also send vehicles and police officers down to help with this. We've been able to narrow the gap down to needing 4 volunteers. I was able to secure a coffee's meeting the other night, 1 volunteer, thank you, Poppy, for willing to volunteer. We also have fire police, they're gonna help us out a little bit. But that still accounts for the cost of the 12 police officers. So that's with that help. The previous year's cost, the chief had said it cost almost 10,000 in the expense for the 2023 parade. So this is, less than half of that, or approximately half of that.
How much was that?
Last year was about 9,700 was the cost. And this year, obviously, they're not 25. It's got 12, actually 13 with him, so technically 13 people with the chief.
So are you talking that you want 5,000 from the town, or that
Yes.
half of what the village is going to
No,
pay?
we're asking for the full thing. So as I spoke with the supervisor, this is not the opinion of the committee. This is just my personal opinion. I asked myself a question several months ago when the village was going through their issues, and I said, how do you divvy up what's the towns, what's the villages, what should be split 50-50? And the sort of guiding principle I've been going on is, if the village did not exist, would the event still exist? And if the answer is yes, then I say that to me, it sounds like a town-wide event and it should be a town expense. The Blueberry Festival, the Run Like the Wind, the 4th of July Parade, those are the three that I can think of, the Electric Light Parade. I think those are the four events that if the village did not exist as an entity, those events would still occur and somebody would have to pay for it. And in that case, it would be the town. I think that it just makes sense and is fair to spread that expense out through the aid fund to every resident, because while the parade physically happens within the village limits, it's a townwide parade, it's a townwide event, and village residents are town residents. So,
And the town already pays 15,000 with fireworks.
yeah, so the fireworks are completely separate. We do for the committee, we do the fundraising. We know that we're fundraising our portion for the parade, which is our main, one of our expenses. And then the committee itself also contributes to the fireworks. So the 15,000 is what the town gives us. We also put in 3,000. 3,000 this year. We're at 18.
We're at 18 this year?
Yeah, we're at 18 this year. To keep the same show as we previously had, that we're at 18,000. So the cost of fireworks has gone up. So to have the same, we have about a 22-minute, 20 to 5-minute the fireworks show. It's the size of the shells that really dictate the cost. So the larger the shells, the nicer they are, the more expensive. So to keep the same show as we had last year, we had to take in more money.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you do fundraising for the committee, and you and James in the room here are basically on that committee, right?
Yes, yeah, we have
And
about,
you do a fundraiser down by the hospital / ShopRite, maybe Walmart, Johansson. Is that still actively done that way?
so the major fundraising events we do is we do the spaghetti dinner, we just had a few weeks back. We do started last year doing a tag day. We did one in the fall last year. We're going to be doing, we did it in the spring last year. This year, we're going to be doing one in June and one in the fall. We used to do a breakfast for dinner in October, and we did a couple of raffles throughout the year. I think the event you're referring to is when we did the Flag Day, Tag Day event, where we had people standing outside the storefronts with a bucket and giving out flags. That was very labor intensive, and as our committee has.
I remember there was a lot of people doing that. I've done it a few times.
Yeah, we stopped doing it because we just couldn't get the volunteers from the community to go and actually go to those locations. And in our committee, we're down to about 7 or so regularly attending members of the 4th of July committee. And we used to have 14 or 15 at one point that were regularly involved. So we're struggling, as every agency is with volunteers, we're struggling as well.
Oh, members have a comment or a question?
Thank you.
John, just to be clear, the village financially is not gonna bear any of this?
Yeah, they said they can't afford any of this, and then next year we had committed to looking at the route and trying to redo it for next year, but it's just too short notice to do it this year. Yeah. We're looking at alternatives for next year.
What is your fundraising efforts going to be yield throughout the process? What's that? Yeah, what do the fundraising efforts typically yield when you're doing your spaghetti dinner?
Yeah, we did about 2,000.
Okay.
We've done about 1,200. As I recall, we did a Saturday, like I think John mentioned, that we did it at the ShopRite traffic light. We did over $2,600, I think it was. And then net profit, as far as net, off the top of my point a little ahead.
And just to be clear, the money that we raise, the parade itself costs money. All the bands that we have, they range in price from, I think our least expensive band is 600, our most expensive is like 1,400. So those things are expenses. buying the flags that we put out. There's a lot that goes into it, so our fundraising is not just the fireworks, but the parade does have an expense too. Thanks.
Okay, any other petitioners have any concerns about? The Markowitz, I see your hand up there.
Victor Markowitz. Just like to compliment the, Wawarsing Heroes. With the banners and the committee there did an excellent job. It spruces up the community. And everybody should remember that today is, June sixth, like you said, Mr. Ross. What significant thing happened on June sixth? That's right, we should remember all the veterans that they gave their lives, and other veterans. I think you're a veteran too, right?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
No? Thought you were. No. Wow. So we should think that over. Spruced up the community, and the committee did an excellent job.
Yeah, they absolutely did, I don't know how many they put up. They're gonna be putting up more though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's more
the-
people that are.
It's gonna be a second wave.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, one thing I'd like to comment on is that the, Warshville, whatever it is, the festival, are they gonna come to the board and ask for funds also for the police? This is something we have to look at. We start nickel and diming this stuff, and all of a sudden mushrooms out of control. They should plan, have a contingency in their budget, have extra raffle or something like that, or look for donors to complement their fund.
Maybe one of your points is that we make our budgets in November, and we try to stay to that budget. And sometimes these things are coming up. We should have that come up the least amount of times.
3 weeks before the parade is kind of cut short. All right, that's about all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martin.
All right, now we can go to a resolution. The town board by resolution approves the close for the observation of Juneteenth on June 19th. Further resolves to authorize the supervisor to execute the memorandum of agreements between the town of Wawarsing and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 363, for the highway and transfer station and water, wastewater, maintenance, and airport.
You make the motion.
Seconded.
All in favor? Go.
No.
Say roll call vote, Mr. Brown.
I know that. First, we have to approve the motion.
Okay. Mike,
Aye.
go.
Aye.
Johnny?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
And I vote aye, that resolution is approved. Budget amounts, town board approved bills as ordered, we have 3 signatures. Myself, Joe, and Joe. Bill itself and Joe.
I'll make the motion.
Bill makes the motion.
Second.
Bill seconds it, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Town board to accept the minutes of the May 2nd regular and audit, the May 16th regular and audit.
Make the motion.
Second.
Bill makes the motion, John seconds 3 and 4, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion, 2 motions are carried. Number 5. Town board to approve payment application number 21 in the amount of $11,833.77. Ham Enterprises for the Wawarsing Water District Water Treatment Facility and Well Field.
So.
Mike makes the motion, Joe seconds it, all in favor?
Aye. Are you any closer to getting that operational? Yes.
Okay, number 6, town board to approve the payment of invoice of 23-2702-12, the amount of $15,454.69. Delaware Engineering, DPC, for the town of Wawarsing Highway Garage.
Second.
Bill makes a motion, Mike seconds it, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Number 7, Town board to approve invoice 202-42384 in the amount of $545 to Advanced Testing Company, Inc. New highway garage and rehabilitation project.
So moved. Second.
Mike, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Town board to approve payment application number 2 in the amount of $7,396.70 to Cam Enterprises for the sludge dewatering facility at Water Wastewater Plant, TWA 232 CDBG project 1215 PR 83-21.
Make a motion.
Second.
Bill makes that motion, John seconds it, all in favor?
Mike.
Mike, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Number 9, town board to authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement between the town of Wawarsing and Lip Tech for the 2024 third-party witnessing proposal. The scope of the work performed will include and be limited to an annual elevator inspection. Cost for the service will be $425.
Second.
Bill makes a motion, Mike seconds it, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Number 10, town board authorizes supervisor to execute the spectrum service order on behalf of the town of Wawarsing for 7286 Route 209, Building B, Wawarsing, New York. That would be highway garage.
So moved.
Second.
Who made the first?
Johnny?
Johnny made the first, and Mike seconds it. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Number 11, town board authorized the supervisor to execute the contract with Sullivan County Paving and Construction, Inc. for the amount of $106,367.50. Emergency paving at the new highway department garage.
So moved. Second.
Mike makes a motion, Bill seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
I think worth pointing out, the original cost was over 200,000 for this, right? And we're able to make a change down to 100,000.
All right, so let's see, that was 11. Well, town board authorized the supervisor to execute the following quotes from Web Jogger for the purchase and installation of the network equipment at the new highway garage.
Second.
So next motion, John seconds it, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. 13, town board authorized the supervisor to execute the grant agreement and indemnity agreement with the Shawano Valley Senior Citizen Center in the amount of $10,000.
So moved. Second.
Bill makes a motion, Mike seconds it. Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried.
That was slow to roll.
Nice work, Joe.
14, town board to approve the hiring of various staff members for Capsulado. What number around that? 14. Town board to approve the hiring of various staff members for the Capsulado. What do we got, folks, in the audience there?
Hector.
Turn the phones off, folks. Number 14, the town board to approve the hiring of various staff members for the Capsulado summer program. This is per the recommendation of eligible Wawarsing Youth Commission hiring committees. Hires are subject to pre-employment drug testing.
So moved.
Just a second. Sorry, no, sorry. There's,
Yeah, so like, can we change that, because the Illinois City Commission does not,
I'm sorry, can you come up and talk so we want to hear you?
yeah, so I just wanna, see if we can put a correction, is as per recommendation of the Recreation Department and Board, because we are the ones who commit, like, we are the ones who do the interviews, the youth commission does not do interviewing for the employees.
So the wording of this, you want to be the.
It should be changed to Recreation Department and Board.
Recreation Department.
Town board.
Yeah, Tom.
I have to say, I took part in several of those interviews. They were so stinking inspiring. Some of these kids have such a great mindset about them. I'm really excited about the individuals that you chose. I'm sorry, great job finding them. So I will second with
Bill
the,
made the motion and Johnny seconds it, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 15, town board authorized the payment not to exceed $400 per lifeguard to attend the Red Cross lifeguard class at Xena Recreation Park. The lifeguards are listed.
So moved.
second.
Bill makes a motion, John seconds it, all in favor? Aye.
And, Mr. Guevara there had mentioned that possibly there's a grant out there to help with this lifeguard thing there. We can check it.
Now it's through who, John?
Swim New York or something.
Yes.
Yeah, did you hear that? Sorry. Okay. Number 16, town board approved the purchase of 2 tents from Archer Tent Rentals, in the amount of $3,000. This includes setup and takedown of the tents
These are for the red what?
for the summer program. It's Joe Wild, we pronounce it like that, Wheel or Wild, it's W-E-I-L.
Now, is he storing them too?
Yeah.
In storage.
So purchasing or renting?
Emergency. They're used tents. Joe has worked for the town, not worked for the town, but he's cooperated with the town at Lincoln Park and at the summer recreation program almost every year to provide the tents. And we bought the tents initially from Orange County Tents. That business went out of, that company went out of business. And he bought a number of tents. This is what he does for a living. And because of the condition of the tents are good, but as he told, and sorry myself, you know, he doesn't use the ones that we're gonna use. He doesn't use it for weddings or real high-end situations, but for our need, for the, recreation program on the school grounds, they're perfect, and it's a very good price. Great.
So moved.
Motion, moved in first, John, and second,
I'll second.
those seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
My motion's carried. So really, that could be it, right? And then now we go to, Mr. Page, we have a half an hour with you or a little more?
No, 2 minutes, that's all.
Okay.
You just got done paving Messenger Road, we're doing South Hill. And next thing, probably next Tuesday, we're gonna start at Camp Road, paving that. Just done Monday Road from the Wood Harbor, 209. That guy, working on Monday Road, from Woods Harbor to the other side. So that did it. And the other thing,
The Lundy Road and, you did Road Garden first, right? And then,
and, probably sometime next week, let Jim and I can get together to, down for a while.
I'm taking a ride now.
Forget forward. Other than that,
when we met, when our weekly meetings with the highway garage project.
on Tuesday, I'm gonna be down in town going to go with your book. Like I have Terry there and somebody else.
Bill or Mike, or just Bill and Mike and not me, with however you want.
Tuesday morning,
Yeah, I think about 9 o'clock.
I can be there.
I can find out the exact thing, because, this we're gonna do some cutting.
Cutting dollars amounts, you mean? The county's been very proactive with, we all have tried to be, but Tony's right there. He's been very proactive in,
Taking a little bit of my sales.
you can continue to say it. But, how about,
Excuse me, 10 o'clock on Tuesday?
9
Or
o'clock.
9 o'clock?
I'll find out for sure. Usually our men start at 9:30, but this is a different meeting.
Right.
All right.
Basically, we have weekly meetings, but, so right now, Bill Brown's turn to talk.
Highway garage is almost complete.
Yes.
And, got some paving to do before we get into the new building there. Which is great. Hopefully we'll have a ribbon cutting in the near future, Chris. And maybe
For the
the,
highway department.
maybe the,
I'm gonna,
water.
I'm gonna space it out a little
filtration
bit.
plant. Well, we said July
Is
of
it gonna really gonna
last
happen?
year, but,
It's gonna happen.
it's coming, closer. The pools are all ready, for the summer program. Larry is doing a great job with all of her programs there, and we appreciate everything she does for us. Sometimes things get kind of hectic and, we end up in the long run working through
Amen.
it. And, thank you for all you do. Airport is doing well. We're still waiting on the village to finish the quotes for the Burnrow Park on the their end of the grant, which is the basketball courts and the tennis courts. We had an engineer hired, and they came up with a proposal of what should be in the quotes for the bids, and I'm not sure if they sent them out.
Sound good, Dennis, sorry, it's been
Yeah, but I'm not sure if the village,
sent out the quotes,
yeah,
actually started the process.
and that's how it is.
Ready for us?
All right. I'm gonna touch on, I mentioned it earlier, but no, sorry. I thought you found some really great candidates for the summer program for Camp Shawangunk. Really excited about the kids that I had the pleasure of interviewing, or the individual I had the pleasure of interviewing for the roles. We have some great youth within our community. I'm excited that they'll be showcasing, their mentality with some of the younger youth in the community as well. I had three local businesses reach out to me over the past couple of days to share that there is a scam that has been happening with some local businesses with someone calling, claiming to be Central Hudson, stating that they had sent a past due bill, that their electricity was going to be turned off that day if they didn't provide payment information. Thankfully, two of the three did not provide payment information, but one did. So just be on the lookout. It does come from an 845 number. They seem to be targeting Ulster County businesses. So be on the lookout for that, please. That's everything for me tonight.
Joe Steckman.
Thanks, Johnny. The water quality reports were sent out 2 weeks ago. No samples exceeded limits. As far as the Wawarsing Water Station is concerned, I have been vocal to the engineers, and we have a good relationship with Labella Pierre in particular, who's very hands-on. And I started to voice the concern because the gap between the Port Bed extension and getting the Wawarsing Water District functional that time is running out. And I really want the Wawarsing Water District to be up and running, for our guys to be trained properly, to work out any kinks for some time to pass before the fall comes. So Pierre was very receptive to that. Motion AI, who is the SCADA company based out of Syracuse, he got them to come down. They'll be down this coming Monday the 10th. They'll be here for 2 full days to do field training and to, I guess, knock on wood, finish things up. And simultaneously, Pierre also took the liberty to reach out to the Ulster County Department of Health, who has to sign off on it before we get commissioned, and invited them down for this training for whenever they want. So we've had a good line of communication with the Department of Health, but to get them there, this close to the finish line, I think will kind of make things go smooth, just in case there is something that's, cross the T's, dot the I's related. So I'll be down there Monday, Tuesday for that. And then lastly, some of the different to recognize Nilsari and John for their help with the Wawarsing Dash. The kids had a great day. I think John beat most of the kids in the final foot race, but one of the older kids may have gotten, I'm not sure. But anyway, that day, a huge part is, about the kids, about, letting them have their day, their moment of glory. And thank you so much for, picking up that baton in a short period of time and owning it. I would have thought you've been running it for 10 years. So you did a great job. And, John, the Robin to her Batman, thank you very much for all you do and all the time you guys, volunteer for our community.
Joe, you know when they're gonna start this Port Bend extension?
Hard date, no.
Probably wouldn't be till like September. I know August or early September. As far as,
You gonna go through the window, Bill?
well, they're out there, if everything goes exactly as planned, it'll be done by December 1. If not, they'll work as long as, the frost allows them.
Yeah, because they call and want to use our message boards.
Well, I think the first thing they're gonna put in is the line from, you know, where the church is on Fort Bend Road, under the water over to Fort Bend, so that'll be done, should be done, should be done before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
No matter, I can't imagine it wouldn't be. Then everything else will be done on the other side of the creek.
I'll call, find out how long you want to use the boards for.
I'll ask.
I mean, the road's already closed, I don't know what they're gonna tell you.
I don't know what, oh, what we're doing boards.
I'll ask.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Joe finished off with volunteering, which is usually where I start off with the emergency services. We're in dire needs of volunteers, not just in fire service, but I'm sure John can attest to EMS also. Just kind of touched a spot tonight when we talked about the volunteers coming out and helping out with the parades. It's not just about going to fires and going to emergency calls, it's what we also do in the community. And this is a very big part of it, where we're gonna be coming together to save the community a lot of money as far as not being charged by the police department for having guys on post. So, you know, the recognition needs to go there also. These guys are out there in the sweltering heat, just like everybody else is, that are not getting paid to do this work, while everybody else that's out there is getting paid. So I want to make it a point that they are recognized for what they do for the community, besides just putting out fires and helping out in car accidents. But if you can volunteer, volunteerism is dying in the state. We're under almost a call an emergency because all throughout the state, we're losing people left and right. A lot of us are getting older, a lot of young kids are not coming in. We try to preach to the young kids that you could come in, become a volunteer in the fire service or an EMS, and it can take you to a professional job setting later on, and that experience goes a very long way. Our building department is in full swing. We are getting a little backed up. Permits are coming in a lot more than we had over the winter time, which is expected. It's nothing new. I would like to recognize John Umbers out tonight. He passed the Ulster County Civil Service Test with building inspector #1. He passed with a 95.
He was the number one.
He was the #1. He's highest in there. Want to congratulate him. So now we'll have two building inspectors in there, not just the building inspector and code enforcement officer. But he should be recognized for that too. He did a great job. And lastly, as I was said, Terry was taking the weighing down of my sales. Tony, I'd like to say thank you to you for what you've done at the construction part of this new garage, besides what you do every day with your crew that keep our roads the way they are and everything else in great shape. But without having you down there and seeing what was going on, it would have been a totally different outcome. You saved us a lot of money and stuff that you found down there was going on. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it.
I try to save money.
And I do have a motion, which I'll finish out with. I have a motion to send a revised STR law draft, June 6, 2024, to the Ulster County and Town of Wawarsing Planning Boards for their review and comment under the municipal law.
I'll make a second.
General is.
General municipal law.
So Mike makes that motion, Johnny seconds it, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried.
That's all I have for this evening.
All right. John, do you need the message board for 4th of July?
Would be great, if you can.
Where do you want it situated?
Same place as John?
Yeah, we have 2 of them, right?
We'll put one up by recreation and one over here.
Yep. That'd be great, thank you.
When would you like them up by?
Really convenient for you.
Week before?
Yeah, week before would be great, thank you.
All right, so the short-term rental law, we've been having public hearings since I believe January, and this week we had a meeting with professionals involved and came up with a draft, which we discussed, the town board has discussed it, and we'll have the next public hearing is June 20th. So let's move along, and that's a good place. The 100th anniversary of the Toronto Fire Department celebrated their 100th anniversary last week with a parade. in Kerhonkson was well attended. They blocked off the streets of 4455 and 209. At 12 o'clock, they had, the traffic was done the right way. There were a lot of people that were on 42nd Street and down, all the way down to the firehouse. But I believe they had about 15 companies of fire departments, which was a real good showing. And they also had about 7 floats. The Barracudas had a float and a number of other groups had floats. So it was a very good celebration. They had, I think, 2 o'clock to 5:30 or 2:30 to 5:30, they had a band. Both folk, Hillbilly something like that. It was good. Then they gave out their awards, but the 100th anniversary really for this department is December 26th of this year. So they have another 2 events in October, and then they have one in December, 26th. And on the 26th of December, they're going to have it at the initial site, which was across from Stewart's and on the same street as the RDI, the old RDI building. That corner is, from what they're telling me, was where the original firehouse was. So I talked to Chris DePew last week, president of the fire department, and he mentioned to me that that's where they're going to have that the final celebration on the 26th of December. But the town is definitely, ready and wanting to recognize them, obviously, for their 100th anniversary. So we're going to be planning something to, celebrate that also. I'd like to, you got the question, Mr. Arnold?
Do we possibly participate on those events, like when on those parades at the town, like can the town participate by like maybe having a float and be part of it?
That's a good starting question. The answer is yes, depending on what we're, we obviously have to look at it and discuss it and approve it. Because there's.
The rec people used to ride on.
Right.
Didn't they? Yeah.
They used to.
Yeah.
They used to have their own vote.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just do it in advance
They
and,
wanted to come.
and do it in advance, which is the right
Right.
thing, but again, like Joe said, and you did, it used to be called the One Like the Breeze and changed the name to the Dash for Kids. And that was a nice thing that was brought up within a short period of time, and was beneficial to the community and the kids. So, let's see. We had a slight incident with Spectrum recently where it's not a big deal, but they kind of just changed all their account numbers on that. And we had bills that were saying we had 0 balances, and we kind of looked into that, and I'd like to thank Ginger, our account bookkeeper, and Mike Cedar and Joe Valentine from Webjobber, because due to that situation, one of the shortfalls in that situation was one of the phone numbers that we were looking at was the fuel, the aviation fuel at the airport. And that was disconnected and wasn't in operation. So it didn't affect anything. It was done within a couple hours. Joe came down from Tivoli, New York, and put it together and got it back online, and there was no problems. But as you might understand and know, people fly in and out of here all the time. People that live here and have their planes, or the people that just fly in for fuel. So it's important to have that working 24/7. As far as the Kerhonkson, we're talking about, Bill talked about the pools being ready to go. Mike did an incredible job, Mike Cedar, getting that stuff ready. And, but today he was mentioning to me, whether he could paint the Kerhonkson pool, which we're advising him to paint the Kerhonkson pool. Kind of a white color with some, I don't know the exact tone of it, but whatever he thinks it really needs to get done, and I told him to do it and Barracudas obviously are a good group. They've been around for a long time and, they deserve to have a, facility that is, what's good to say, right? We're working on some initiatives with the, every year we talk about the eligible pool. We got some ideas that we are thinking about and, we'll have some community conversation, within the next couple of weeks. Possibly. Yeah, we're always opening the pool and when Mr. Capel was the mayor, myself and, I believe Bill was maybe at the meeting, last year and a couple of years ago, the idea was school always comes to us and say, do you want to continue? And, it's always been that the village, the town and the school has helped out with the pool. In recent years, due to the financial stress that the village is under, they've offered, in kind work with their street department and different departments, but haven't really been able to provide any kind of funding like they had in the past, but at the same time, it's a good cooperation between the three entities, the school and the village and the town. It still is, and I think, I got some ideas about how we can make it a better place to swim and do other activities on the school grounds. So we'll have some more information about that, and what else? That's it.
Oh, you have a quick executive session, we'll talk about, contraction.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn and go to, executive session for construction, not to reconvene.
Okay,
I'll second them.
all right, that's,
I'm in favor.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So thank you for coming today.
Everybody.
And if you have any questions, please let us know, stop in town hall or whatever you want to do.
Thank you.